the legend of eventing, who has won more 3-day events than any other.
Because I'd lost all sense of urgency my whole life. I couldn't care less. I was lucky to be alive, and I was floating around being a pain in the arse, I think. The day I don't want to ride them, I'm out of it. So I had a very clear picture in my mind about when my moment of retirement was coming.
Welcome to Talk Horse.
I gallop through the highs and lows of the equestrian world.
I'm Pippa Funnell. I've been eventing pretty much all of my life, and I'm an author of a series of children's books, Pippa's Ponytails.
I'm Tristan Phipps. I am the very proud co-host of Talk Horse. I'm probably best known for Main Chelsea, however, I am an ex-safari guide. I'm horse curious and learning more and more each week.
It's great to be back here. We've had so many fascinating guests, and I'm really excited today because we have really got a superstar from the equestrian world, someone right from day one I've been dying to get and have a chat with.
Absolutely, a very good friend of yours. I've met him a few times. He is a lovely chap, achieved so much in the equestrian world. I'm also hoping to get some gossip about Pippa as well today, so this could be a little expose. Here's some fun stories. I know you love those fun stories.
No gossip at all.
Has he been briefed for no gossip?
No gossip.
No gossip.
No gossip at all, but someone who I have known all my riding life, pretty much. So, and probably known as the GO.A.T in the eventing world.
I didn't know you knew that expression, the GO.A.T. That's quite cool. You know what GO.A.T stands for?
Of course I do. Greatest of all time.
Very good. Very good. Absolutely. So please do like and subscribe to the pod, as we want loads more people to hear about us, and it really does help. So
yes, it does.
Yes, it does. So saddle up, join our equestrian community, and
let's talk horse.
Hello.
You can't say it like that.
Hello.
Okay.
Hi, Pip.
Hi, Tristan.
You don't sound too happy to see me today.
No, I'm very pleased to see you. I've come from a very different 4 days for me, busy 4 days, but I've come literally from Burghley, got home late last night, and it was the most incredible competition.
Hot off the press, big information, big news. It was a very successful event for one of your friends, I believe.
And one of you, well,
I have met. Yeah,
I've
met
the horse.
Rider and horse.
You have. Walter, the Lordship Scraffalo.
Gorgeous horse.
We witnessed something quite remarkable at the weekend. It was a tough cross-country course. It caused quite a few problems. Very fortunately, no horses, no riders were injured. But it was a tough course that a lot of people made it look quite difficult. Mm-hmm. But Ros, may I say, just 5 months pregnant, on a horse that she had so much trust and belief in, she put in, or between the two of them, the most outstanding performance.
So she won quite significantly, did she?
Yes.
Yeah. And I think it's important to note that Ros winning this weekend is kind of history making, but
absolutely,
because
no,
she is,
it is properly history making.
And it's exciting to see what happens next, but she is only the second rider to ever win 3 5-star events in one season. I think you might know the other person who
that was years ago.
So Pippa Funnell is the only other person to also do that, winning Badminton, Le Moulin and Burghley in 1 year.
No,
in one season.
Badminton, Burghley and Kentucky Badminton and Burghley.
Oh, sorry, that's the big one. But as we haven't got Ros here and it's an amazing weekend, I want to kind of touch on, how that was for you. Obviously, 2003 Rolex Grand Slam eventing, that was an amazing achievement for you. So we've got some questions, because we can't ask Ros. And I want to kind of tap into that psyche of a champion. So obviously 2003...
I might have to tap in a long time back.
That wasn't too long ago.
It was a long time ago. It was 22 years ago now. Can you believe? Well, you can't believe it because you weren't even around.
That's very kind of you.
Nursery school.
I was a little bit younger than I am now.
Yeah, nursery school. Had you just left nursery?
How old was I? I think I was 30. I was 7.
7.
7.
Okay.
Yeah. I would have known what's going on, kind of. I had been on a horse by that point. So 2003, is there one moment out of that season that was the big win for you? Was it Badminton? Was it Burghley? Was there one which kind of got you I must have been the
Bloody right, it was one moment knowing that I'd won $250,000. That was a life-changing amount of money for me. But I think...
which victory, which one of those three, winning the last and third to know that you'd won the Grand Slam was obviously amazing, but which one in the moment felt like you'd overcome the most together?
Well, it would have been the last leg of the Grand Slam because the first win was Kentucky, which was amazing, unbelievable, because you're travelling the horses, they're flying to Kentucky and so you've got that whole thing and it's at the beginning of the season and I felt in Primrose Pride I was taking a horse that had a very real chance. I was very fortunate during 2003. I had a really good team of horses and I was in a lucky situation that I had 3 at 5-star level. So obviously only 2 could go to Badminton. So one the only other 5-star was to go to Kentucky because back then Le Moulin wasn't a 5-star. So very kindly, Denise and Roger Lincoln, who owned Primrose Pride, they allowed him to go to Kentucky, and that was very special, really special, obviously going overseas. And then that year, literally, you came home, and a day later, we were driving down to Badminton, and I was lucky because I had a great girl at home, Zany King, who
was looking after
Primrose Pride, Supreme Rock and Cornerman, keeping them ticking over at home while I was away in America. And I obviously came back on a complete high, went straight into Badminton, and it was just very special and wonderful. And I think it was a great example of when you're on a high, your confidence is up, and when your confidence is up,
you perform better.
Yeah.
Do you feel like winning the second event, there was pressure to then go on and complete the Grand Slam? And at what point would that pressure start mounting?
It's very special when you win 1 5-star in a season, so you almost, that takes a bit of pressure off because you're on a high because you've actually won a big one. Yeah. And then Badminton came so quick and it was a whirlwind and the other horse was 4th, Cornerman, so they both went fantastic. And I never even thought of the Grand Slam, but then obviously the press and people started to
thinking about
talk
it for you
big time about the Grand Slam and suddenly then the pressure started to build.
Yeah, so there's a bit of time between Badminton and Burghley.
Yeah, nothing went wrong in the spring. So it was like anything I touched turned cold for some reason. And the weird thing about it is that it was so close. Nothing like Roz. Roz's margins, her winning margin has been enormous. Whereas with me, it was completely different. I finished, I think, on the same score in Kentucky as the person who was second. In Badminton, it was point something. It's fractions. And then at Burghley, I ended up, it was Zara, and Zara's obviously a great mate of mine, and it was her first Burghley. And we finished on the same score after cross-country, and I thought, I cannot believe this. I'm going to lose. It's going to end up sod's law. I'm going to lose all that money and winning the Rolex Grand Slam by being on the same score as Zara, and I'm just going to be the wrong side of the time. And so I did that night before show jumping. I thought, it's not going to happen. And then I remember so clearly Zara coming into the ring, and I jumped I clear lying second because she was faster again. She was close to the optimum time, so she was in the lead, but on the same score. And it was just, you could hear a pin drop in the ring. I can feel it even now, just thinking about it. And then
she didn't jump clear.
No, and it was near the end of the course. She had a fence down, and then I was like,
stars aligned.
And no one wants it. You know, I didn't want Zara to lose, but
I think it was
bloody hell, that money was life changing for me. You know, it did. And then from there, we went straight to the European Championships in Punchestown. And everyone was joking in Punchestown, saying, "Oh, can you lend us some money? Can you lend us?" And you wouldn't believe it. At Blenheim, during the prize giving, someone went into the lorry and stole my handbag, my husband's bag, my passport had gone, my wallet had gone, my phone had gone, everything had gone. And I don't know who it was or anything.
Do you think they gave you a
So I had no money. I had absolutely everyone saying, "Oh, lend us some money because I just won 250,000. And I did not have a penny on me.
I have to say, Pip, you are looking very fashionable today. I'm looking very
Black.
Yeah, I am. You've got a beautiful flash of colour. I love that scarf.
I'm
Pastel pink. For those who are listening, get on and have a look because it's a beautiful scarf.
I'm very lucky. It is. It's really, really pretty. And I did actually message Alice Fox-Pitt because Al and I went shopping briefly because we had to do a
Great stores at these events,
chat.
by the way. The shopping is unbelievable.
William, Alice and I did a chat, but Alice and I went shopping and then I went off shopping on my own because she had to do something else. And one of the train stands I popped into was Claire Haggis, and I'm so lucky because she has given me a few beautiful, beautiful silk scarves. And I absolutely love it. But yes, for people that are listening, you'll have to go on YouTube because it is beautiful.
You'll have to have a look.
Claire Haggis does all the artwork. So she's done all the artwork herself. And it's all made in England. So I really am
Very
grateful
useful.
to her. Yeah. So love it.
So we have a very exciting guest today.
We do.
Shall we bring on today's guest? And
The GO.A.T.
the GO.A.T.
Who might be being threatened.
Yeah,
He might be
someone
being
knocking at the
threatened
door.
by Roz,
Roz.
because I think as a combination, I think Roz and her horse Walter will be the greatest of all time as a combination. But this man has won more Burghleys than anyone else. He's won more 3-day events than any other rider. I mean, yeah.
I mean, serious accolades. So 14 5-star wins, including Burghley 6 times. 6 times? That's incredible. Badminton
on
twice.
different horses.
I mean, that's a serious man. And also, he's a 3-time Olympic medalist and former world number 1.
He is none other than my very tall, long-necked, very good friend, William Fox-Pitt. So let's talk horse with William. So I know many people have put you on the list of guests to have on a talk horse.
Top requested, I'd say, up there. You're a fan favourite.
What does that mean?
The legend
We're going to
of
find out.
eventing, who has won more 3-day events than any other. More 5 stars, 14 5-stars, plus several pony club events.
Not many pony club events.
But it's a
A
great...
lot of prestige in the room today.
It's a great honour to have one of my oldest rivals, buddies, William.
Great to be here. You finally invited me. I've been waiting.
Well, we had to get a studio tall enough so that you didn't have to bend down and crouch down to get in.
No, I fitted in. I'm sitting up. I'm comfy.
Anyone listening, you need to watch or see these two standing up because Tristan's very tall, but William actually looks down on him.
Yeah. Goes William, Jodie, Kid, Tristan in the high order.
Mummy.
And then Pip. Great to see you again. Thank you so much for joining us.
Great to be here. Shall I be nervous?
Well, I
Yes.
think Pip should be nervous, actually.
No.
No. I've been told I'm not allowed to ask too many personal anecdotes. I've been briefed.
Why?
Just
My question exactly.
Yeah, why?
first question.
First question.
When are you
What's
opening
Pip's
the
most
bottle?
embarrassing story? No. As we open a little, would you like a little glass of sparkling wine?
When did we start on that? Is that what you do? Do you start to begin with, or do you have one when you kind of warm you up?
Well, this is kind of like the welcome to London. It's got to be a reason to come down to the Big Smoke.
Or do you just give us a bit when we get a bit stuck? Kind of
This is just to loosen the tongue a little
get
bit.
a few more stories
Yeah,
out.
let's
There's a little, yeah. I'll open the bottle of sparkling wine whilst you answer the first question, if you don't mind, which is,
Yeah, do it.
Your first question.
how did you first connect with horses?
Well, horses were in my family. We rode as a family. My mother and father both rode around Badminton, actually. So we used to do ponies at weekends and go and stay with Granny with our ponies for Christmas and do all that. And I got really into hunting. I was very excited about hunting. And that was... Oh, that was boring.
Oh no, I should have popped it off.
Come on.
God, can we get another one?
All about cross country. It was all about jumping hedges and who was the fastest and who could jump the biggest hedge and how many, I wanted to always be the one that jumped the most hedges in the day or the most hunt jumps, whatever it was.
Did you used to count? I used to always count.
Oh, I counted every jump.
How many jumps I
Every time I
jumped.
left the ground, I counted. Yeah, it was all about that. And then I realised the only thing to do to be competitive, to go cross country, was I had to learn to event because hunter trials weren't very competitive. So I had to learn to do dressage and show jumping. So I got quite keen at doing that in my teens. But yeah, it was all about hunting and obviously pony club because my mum was DC and pony club was compulsory.
I was rival pony club.
I hear there was a bit of...
Oh yeah, we were.
Yeah.
I just remember...
we were enemies, weren't we? I mean, that was...
From the age of...
You didn't
Never
talk.
been
You didn't
enemies.
talk to anyone from the age. God,
But I
no.
always-
God forbid you make friends outside of your own pony club.
I always remember William was always riding horses so big, and we all were on ponies, and he would be on horses in his jumper boots.
In my jumper boots.
Jumper boots.
Well, because at a certain age you haven't grown into wearing proper boots.
Yeah.
And then I looked so ridiculous. My mother thought, for God's sake, we got to get him a pair of boots.
Were you size 16 when you were born? Something like
Something like
that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember
was-
thinking, you had, and when I got my first horse, because I was young, I was in jumper boots too. And then one day, Mum finally let me have boots on, and I jumped through water. And the very first time I ever wore boots, and it jumped sideways, and I caught my leg on a nail
Ooh.
that was sticking out of a post. And luckily, I was
God you
wearing
had the
boots.
boots.
It was the first time I ever wore long black boots.
There you go. That's why we wear boots. Protect. It's meant to stop your leg snapping, isn't it? Let's talk about, it's protection.
Is it? Is
Yeah,
it protection?
It literally, leather is it used to be quite strong, bulky leather, and a hunting boot would protect you from a gatepost or a kick or a crash on the road.
Yeah, okay.
Whereas now, we all wear these kind of poncy, fancy boots that are like little kind of...
Little flimsy ones.
Yeah. they
With
just
zips up the back. In the
just
old days,
look
didn't
pretty.
we?
Bougie
We
ones.
had to need boot pulls to get our boots on.
Yeah.
I actually have a pair of, I think, the old school boots at home, which are mine for my father, which are incredibly stiff. So I think I've got the
Proper,
non-poncy.
there you go.
Yeah, got the original ones.
So from the pony club teams, we didn't really know each other that well then, did we? I mean, I remember seeing you a lot, and in William's autobiography, he maybe started off not the best foot because William got eliminated at the Erridge Pony Club.
At your event.
Home ground.
Mum helped run the event at Erridge. It was the Erridge Pony Club one-day event, and he got eliminated for outside assistance.
Outside assistance?
Apparently my mother, unknown to me of course,
Yeah.
said kick him or get on or something as I was coming into this great big trachena, and I then got over the trachena, and then I was eliminated.
So interesting.
because
So what age are we at this
I've been
point?
helped. 12.
So
13.
even at that age, you can't...
13, 14?
Yeah.
So any outside influences?
Assistance.
Apparently, yeah. So that was pretty strict, wasn't it?
That's quite strict.
I thought it was jolly mean, actually.
I think that's jolly mean, yeah.
It wasn't Mum, though. It wasn't.
I'm sure it was.
No, you just said that. You just said that to create a story. It wasn't my mother.
That's insider trading, that is.
Well, no, but it was obviously Erridge's event, and it was
Did you win?
her mum's event. Obviously, they won
No,
because
I
they
don't.
won everything. The West Street South never won a thing.
So then we went on to juniors. And William actually you're only 2 months younger than me, but he was fortunately born the
I
following
was
year.
the right side of January the 1st, so
So
I'm January the 2nd. So I'm in and she's out, which was my best year because I was going strong and Pippa had grown up.
There you go. And then that just continued for the
And
rest
then
of
that was a year, that was basically my turning year because I won a individual silver at the European Juniors Championships in Protoni in Italy. And that was the first time I didn't win, but I thought I had.
Yeah.
I'd won anything. I thought, I quite like that.
this
It's
is
quite a
quite
good feeling. I got a silver medal. I was on a podium, and
Was that Steadfast?
that was with Steadfast.
So was that the moment then?
And that was the moment I thought, maybe I should
could
get
do
better
this.
at this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I quite like that feeling. And then I was into young riders, and that was all looking great. And every year I was in the team on the wonderful old Steadfast. Every year I was fourth. So I've had
That podium was
three-
just a little...
3 fourths. One year I got lucky because the girl that finished third was American, so she wasn't European, so she was out.
Great.
And I came third, so I got 1 bronze medal. But I just always remember thinking, you know what, I think I'd rather be 44th than 4th.
There is
Because
something
it
to be
was
said for that.
Quite annoying.
Within grasping distance.
Because you're you think you're good, but you're not.
But then 44th, you'd probably be like, I wish I was 4th.
Do you think?
I have absolutely
No,
no
I think then
experience in the
you'd just
matter.
be very happy that
I'd take 44th personally.
You'd be nice and useless, and
I
that
think
was
I
quite
would
normal.
prefer
But
fourth. I would
Yeah.
prefer
fourth wasn't great.
The best of the losers.
But we
It was a loser.
Yeah.
did have amazing fun in our junior young rider days. We were coached by, our team trainer was Jill Watson.
Jill, amazing Jill. Team vet was Bob.
Bob Baskerville.
Bob Baskerville. And we were a real
It was a
team.
wonderful
We did everything
introduction.
together all the way through. We did Bramham every year and then the championships, and it was like a family.
So is this so what age is young riders then? And then how do you...
Well, juniors is under 18. And
18 and under, technically.
18 and under.
19 to 21 is young riders.
And is that a national team?
And that's a national
The
team.
national team.
And yeah, we you wouldn't have wanted any more. There was plenty of us. Now they've extended it to 25.
What age did you win your first 5-star event?
Are you testing me?
Oh, I don't know the answer.
No,
I think
really
I
won't
was
remember.
25.
25. So is there...
At Burghley,
I was 1994, so what?
That's
yeah, that
30.
must have been 25.
That's my age of birth.
that was
Age of birth?
Burghley
Year of
on
birth.
Chaka.
Okay,
Chaka.
yeah.
King,
Well,
as in
your
King
memory
Shaka.
still works.
It
Good
does.
old Chaka. That was, and I thought then I should give up because I thought, I'm
That's
never.
it.
That is
One
it.
and done.
I've actually won. It's the first 3-day I never won. And I thought, you know what, that'll do.
That'll do.
I should quit quickly.
Clearly wasn't the case.
And then stupidly
Kept going back for
I
more.
quite could try and do it again. And I got a nice horse. And
And then he actually got
Still-
some very good owners
off her.
off me. He pinched. No, he didn't pinch.
And the competition continues.
Yeah, it does, because I had some very good owners in Judy and Jeremy Skinner, and
When you say good owner, do you mean
they
believed in the...
believed
journey
in me.
and
They had horses that were with Ruth McMullen, and their daughter Sasha evented, and then Sasha gave up, so I took on the rides of their horses, and had some lovely horses. And then when they wanted to buy another horse, and they fell in love with this horse. That was too big for me, basically. It was too big.
And to win.
And perfect. I think probably they thought, actually, that's a nice big horse. We want to lose this little squirt of a jockey.
Yeah.
Let's get that proper man.
your feet were still touching the floor,
I
though.
thought you'd chosen the horse. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I still
Yeah,
really
still
looked at
grabbing
Cody.
I didn't choose a horse.
Oh, you didn't choose a horse?
No.
No, he's a lovely big fancy horse.
He was a big
They were
horse.
my first. I'd had owners kind of appearing in my life from quite a young age because so-and-so's friend had given up, and then so-and-so else had given up and gone to university, and I was the only one still carrying on. They'll say, we'll give it to William. William will sell it, or William will enjoy it or do something with it. So then Judy and Jeremy came in and said, right, on a serious note, this is... and they were amazing, but right from the beginning, I can remember sitting in Judy's car at Windsor, 3-day event to this day, and she said, this is, I don't know you don't know me, this is obviously for fun, but this is totally a business. I thought...
It's fun. Enjoy yourself, but it's a business.
I think about, is it really a business? I never really thought about businesses and horses. And she said, you know what you do with this horse will determine what we do. If you sell well, we'll buy well. If you sell badly, we probably won't buy one again. If you go well, we'll support you. But you're going to decide whether you make a success or a failure of this horse.
That's where I went wrong.
And I
So
thought,
no pressure then.
Okay. So but then as a younger rider, you don't really feel the pressure. I just was lucky to have the horse and thought, well, whatever's going to happen, I'm going to ride the horse and try and win some events. Anyway, I sold the horse, and they stood to their word. Every time we sold and we did well, they replaced, and we ended up with a horse that won Burghley and went to the Olympics. So
So Ballincoola
it was
won
an
Burghley.
amazing story.
What
yeah.
horse went to the Olympics?
Lionheart.
Oh, of course,
Great
London.
mare.
Went to
London.
London.
Yeah, so actually I rode their horse in London, which was, I always used London as the experience of my life, really, to have ridden there. Forget the fact
Home games.
we sort of cocked up, but, it was, we tried hard and we nearly did it. But, it was home games, it was with the horse I loved, with owners I loved, and it was just a great memory. And it just kind of worked, that it was on him.
Yeah.
And actually then we decided that he'd done all that and he was amazing, and we sadly sold him after that because Judy wanted the next one.
Must be quite
that's
tough
how
having
we did
to
it.
kind of...
And that was quite tough, but that was very much our agreement, and it was business.
So once you're in the team, is it like forgive my ignorance, like a generational, like you'll dominate that team for like, you know, a series
Yeah,
of
I
years,
think
and then you'll.
I felt there was Pippa, myself, Tina,
But
Leslie, Jeanette, and we were the team. And sometimes someone had a lame horse, and sometimes somebody else had a lame horse, and it was going to be one of us. And it was sort of just
what it was.
What it was going to
But
be.
it was actually amazing how, you know, the friendship with Tina, the three of us. It was amazing actually how few teams we did.
All three of us in the same team.
Which I don't think, the only time I think we did it was in Young Riders, in Swang, when we were young riders. Because otherwise...
with you two and Tina, you said?
Yeah, and we were such great friends, but it was either Tina and I in Le Moulin, you weren't there, and you didn't have anything for Sydney, did you?
No.
And then Tina didn't, you know, and then I didn't have anything like London. I had one that went wrong for London.
You had a complete, But I mean, I think in our sport, someone has always got a lame horse, and you just got to try to make sure you're not the one with the lame horse. And I was very lucky with my owners that I often had a backup horse, and owners that were happy to not be with your number one horse. I think now that's quite tough in the sport. It's all very great to be, you know, imagine owning Lordship Graffalo, marvellous. But imagine owning the Roz's number 3.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be great. And I think that for the riders is so tough. It's because the riders need that support in the horses. And I think that's where some riders are better at getting team of horses and some aren't. And I think that's quite a...
And you did an incredible job then of managing some of your owners, because, you know, as we say, you know, owners, their whole aim is to go to Badminton or go to championships. And you at one stage, a bit like Harry Mead now, he's got 5-star horses. You've got to actually those owners all want to go to Badminton, but...
You can't. You've got to say, I think, was always very transparent about, you know, this is my plan. Yours is currently number 3.
Yeah.
And if something goes wrong, you'll be the first to know. Yeah. But at the moment, he's not going to Badminton. So I wouldn't ever pretend
false pretense,
things. And I think owners rather respected their position. Some owners thought, I don't want to go to Badminton. I want to go to Kentucky. And, I think Le Moulin fits better with our family. And you could actually work a bit around that. But I think you need to deal with that whole side of it, because otherwise you end up with not enough horses.
It's an interesting side of the sport, isn't it? To kind of balance that, you know, the rider versus owner.
Yeah, get the owners in your family, and that's why I've been so lucky.
We rely on them, don't we? I mean, our whole career.
Your owners, my owners, made our careers.
They did.
They really
couldn't have done without them.
Without the horses, without, you know, it wouldn't have happened. And to keep the owners, we had some quite interesting moments.
I'm sure.
Go into too many owner moments now. Had some quite funny stories that I think people probably witnessed, and we came out of it. But it's certainly there were times where
some clashing of interests.
Makes a good story,
I'm sure. I'd like to know how riding at 5-star big events versus like the Olympic pressure, because obviously, you know, those big 5-star events are enormous. You know, Kentucky's a massive event. You know, Badminton, I've seen the scale of that. But then obviously, is the Olympics a different level to that in terms of the pressure, not necessarily the pressure, but the excitement and the kind of the build up to it?
Well, I'm quite a bad one to ask, because I've always been crap at the Olympics.
But you've been on a few teams.
I've had 5 goes, so it's not good.
Yeah, but you didn't have luck your way. So, William, in Athens,
you've done very well in the 5-star events, though.
Moments.
In Athens, you were definitely going to win an individual medal in Athens on Tamarilo, but he
fractured
a stifle. He just caught
a stifle.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he'd hit a fence on the cross country. Finished fantastic and looked great. And then in the evening, he just was holding his leg, and he just caught the top of his stifle. So I couldn't jump. So that was a real.
So we had to win the team medal.
You won it for me. I felt a complete fraud, but
So how does it work at that point then?
That medal.
If you've already started the competition and then there's an injury, can a replacement come in and pick up?
Not any. There is now. The way the sport's changed, that reserve rider comes in
With your score?
with a penalty of replacement score. Is it 1,000 penalties or something? Something crazy.
Is it possible to come back from that?
Exactly.
Anyway, no, it's game over.
Really?
But at least your team completes, which is
Fine.
important for king and country.
Yeah.
But in those days, there was 4 in the team.
4 in a team.
And 3 scores count.
Okay.
Did I say that
Yeah,
right?
3.
3
3 scores count. And mine, therefore, came out. And mine was a good score. But luckily, Pippa's was pretty amazing. Leslie's was pretty amazing. And Jeanette's was pretty...
Yeah, we get
Pretty
and then,
good.
yeah.
And then, so this is Athens, and you got a
And then I
team.
was...
Leslie won individual gold. I got individual bronze.
If I jump, we would have won a gold medal.
Yeah, and we got team
And
silver.
We got team silver. So, you know,
Great
it
result.
was still pretty good. But
Yeah.
I felt a bit of a...
Was it a bit of a hump?
joke.
Yeah.
It was quite sad because of my horse, and you just think, it's just, you know, you don't see it through.
Yeah.
And then in wherever it was,
Rio.
Rio.
Oh no, well you had. So then you had other games, didn't
Rio
you? You
was
went.
another whole thing. But
Oh, yeah.
no, Beijing was also a nightmare because I had a really funny story getting to Beijing because I had the nightmare of I had too many horses up for selection,
Okay. Oh, not a bad.
and my owners got a little bit tense as to what horse I was going to ride. So I had quite a lot of opinions on
Right.
which horse I should ride.
And ultimately, whose decision is that?
Luckily, the selectors.
Fine.
So I very much said,
Whispered in the
you know,
ear.
guys, this has got to come from you because I'm getting pressure, and I had owners pretending to collect horses. I had gates being locked, stables being locked, and all sorts going on at that stage.
Right.
Which
In the
was,
lead up
you
to
know,
the Olympics, that's quite high pressure.
I didn't know that.
And then I obviously got selected on a horse that was a little bit what I call the newest kid on the block.
Okay.
So it was the toughest one to be selected on because my loyalty lay very much with the other owners.
Ah.
And I should have been riding their horses, or one of their horses, and I ended up riding this horse who was going best at that moment for Team GB, and that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Anyway, he got out there and he travelled badly, he dehydrated, he tied up, and it was...
Tied up is.
Sorry, yeah. good
It
point,
doesn't
tied
mean
up.
tying
Mu-
them
muscles?
up. So we just had to explain that.
You tied him up and
Yeah, the horse
As
curious.
a career, he got muscle cramp.
muscle cramp. I
muscle
assumed
cramp.
that's what it would be. Yeah.
So if the horse gets muscle cramp, their muscles seize up, and
Yeah.
we
So-
call that tied up.
So from arriving there,
You're on the back foot.
10 days, I didn't sit on my horse.
Oh wow! So when they cramp up like that, it takes
you
quite a
just
long time.
walked him in hand every day, and I did my 10 days of walking in hand thinking, what am I doing? This is at the Olympics. Anyway, he amazingly came through the competition, but his performance was a little bit rugged.
Okay.
Nowadays, they'd have chucked me out. Yeah, the reserve would have come in, it would all been done and dusted, but
Yeah.
I was there, and I think that was all they could do. They couldn't chuck me out. Anyway, so they were stuck with me. But he ended up being 12th or something. So he performed.
And you got a team
okay,
medal
and we
there,
got a
didn't you?
team bronze.
Yeah.
But I went there thinking that we were snapping at
yeah.
the heels of an individual medal on a horse that was looking pretty good. He'd won Burghley the year before, I think, and been produced for the Olympics. But anyway,
I mean,
it
this
didn't quite
man
happen.
has won more Burgleys than anyone else.
Yeah. Well, literally.
Burghley's, yeah.
How many
Burghley,
Burgleys have you won?
I like Burghley.
Yeah?
Burghley's
Suits
good.
you?
Burghley's good to me. It suits me.
Suits you, yeah.
I think
Good look.
eventing should just be Burghley.
Just-
be
that's
so
it.
much simpler.
It's like the rest of the 5 stars off.
Should
Just
bin
keep
all
it.
those kind of fancy pants events where you have
Yeah.
to do good dressage and jump big jumps. Just have Burghley.
What is your, for both of you, what's your favourite part of the event? Do you have a favourite?
For me, I mean, obviously it's about cross country.
Cross-country, right.
That's the
Okay.
only reason
That's-
I do eventing. If it wasn't cross country, I wouldn't blinking well event.
But yeah, I didn't want to be rude, but is
For me, it's only the cross country after I've done it, and after I've done it well.
okay.
It's not
So
the cross country
for
if I fall on my
cross-country-
head.
Well, you're good at dressage. I'm not good at dressage.
Oh,
so
don't
for
be
me, my
silly.
best bit was
Quite
the
good at
cross
dressage.
country.
Okay.
William was
And that's
very
why
good at dressage.
I learned to do dressage and jumping in order to do cross country.
In order to do the cross country, fine.
So there's always a bit of catch up. But it's all about the cross country because that is.
Is that where the most
real
points are?
buzz. And it's a sport where it's not just about the result. There's a personal result. You have a personal victory, which isn't a win,
Yeah.
but actually you come out of a competition with a victory. And I think that goes through all our levels and whatever you're doing. You go to an event with your own ambition, and you want your horse to perform to a level for the first time, and he does it. You want him to go inside the time for the first time, and he does it. And that can come home as a bit of a victory.
Yeah.
Even if you come 25th, you still come home a winner.
If anyone listened to the podcast that actually you wouldn't have listened to it because you were away, but I did a previous podcast
I still listen
with
to our podcast.
William's beloved wife Al, who's such a
poor wife,
wonderful. I know, poor Al, how she puts up with you. But anyway, William did have, as we said in that podcast, William had. Well, you won't even know about it, so I better tell the story. William had the most horrendous fall in Leon, off a young horse, didn't you? And you were in a
coma for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And they basically said that I was be lucky if I was ever going to be able to do, I was going to be a vegetable.
Really?
And what's incredible about it, he's come out a nicer person.
It's not that. We don't suggest at home that you chuck your loved ones off a horse, but
you can say that. You can say that.
I mean,
yeah, he's. So Tina and I did go out because obviously William didn't know we went out, but we just felt, obviously, we've been very close to William for many years, but we were worried about Al, and we didn't know what the situation was. And
well, like all these things, I was in a very
terrified.
happy place.
Yeah, just snoozing.
I was having a snooze and I didn't know about anything, and of course everyone around me was
quite stressed,
having a horrible time.
Yeah, it
would have been a good way to go actually, because I would never have known. It would have been very quick and very easy.
Do you remember the accident at all then?
No, I remember. I don't even remember the moment. I remember the day.
Yeah.
Because my first horse had gone very well and was lying well.
Yeah.
And my second horse wasn't going so well, and I, again, quite weirdly, I had a run out early on the course, and I was carrying on. And normally, I think I would have just pulled up and come home and thought, I'll focus on the one that's good. But I was carrying on, thinking that I should do it for some reason.
Yeah.
And that was the last thing I knew, and had a very simple, easy fall at a very simple, easy fence. But it was apparently sunlight. It was under a roof. I bang on about jumping under roofs because I think that the only thing a roof over a fence does is make a horse duck. And surely, with eventing, that's the one thing you don't want a horse to do, but for safety reasons. But anyway, it was, I think, the sun and the shadow and the reflection and the roof meant that he walloped the jump and flipped over.
Oh no!
And he just landed I landed on myself. Bad. He didn't even land on me. He landed next to me.
You landed on your head.
I've got a good old long neck, and I think it gave me a bit of a and a wallop on the head, and that was it knocked me out. And I was then amazingly well treated in France, and they kept me in an induced coma as well once I was recovering, because apparently if you're
swelling,
got to keep the swelling. Yeah. The longer you stay unconscious, apparently the better, because the brain heals better when you're unconscious than when you're struggling. And I was coming around, and in a bad state, and apparently having epileptic fits and all sorts of things. So they kept me under just to probably make their lives a bit easier. Yeah. But it was definitely the right thing. But then I came back to the UK, and I had amazing treatment and therapy, and just to get me back. And once I could kind of think about things, I think, well, I'm going to be back to riding Rio, because Rio's next year. And everyone's going, yeah, right, you're riding. No, you're not doing anything. I think, I'm going to get back, and I'm going to ride by Christmas, and I'm going to get ready, and I'm going to do this and that and the other, and then Chili's for Rio. And everyone was saying, yeah, okay. And it was amazing to have that goal, actually, if I look back, to have that target, because I'd lost all sense of urgency. My whole life, I couldn't care less. I was lucky to be alive, and I was floating around being a pain in the arse, I think. So actually, to have that slight something to focus on was, thank God. I would sometimes, I lost all my appetite, so I could know whether I'd eaten or not. And I also didn't get full, so I would sometimes have 7 breakfasts and sometimes have no breakfast. And so I'd have to learn to write down, tick boxes. Al did a kind of chart as to when I could tick when I'd eaten.
You've eaten, yeah. Was that short term after the accident?
And that was a few months after the accident, So sort of, say, till Christmas. And all those little funny things, like I lost kind of my energy and my tiredness. So I had no energy, but I was never tired. So I wasn't going to bed, and I wasn't getting up, and nothing mattered. And I said, right, I'm going to ride by Christmas. And I can remember thinking, oh, Christmas is in a week and I've not been down to the stables. I mean, I've not even gone to say hello to Chili, let alone ridden him. So, right, I got myself absolutely back on. And I think, again, everyone was going, oh, just keep him happy, keep him getting better. And it did me so much good. It got me getting fit. It got me walking again. Because initially, when you've laid immobile for a length of time, you lose so much. Have you ever done that? Have you had a time where you're stationary? You've been injured, and I just completely
your
turned
body
into a blob. I couldn't walk upstairs at home. And then when you got 10 stairs, so I had to have a bedroom downstairs, and just gradually walked a bit more every day. And I gave myself plans of what I did, and I timed myself, and I learnt all that kind of procedure of getting back for
incremental gains.
Rio.
I remember coming down, because we came down, didn't we? We came and saw you at home after you got back.
And I had double
Tina
vision.
That's right.
So one eye was always there, and the people looking at me like, oh my God, what's that?
Is that a few whiskies?
I'd be thinking I was totally normal, I was making sense, and they're going, yeah, it's all sounding great.
But it was amazing the help, because we were on the lottery programme, the UK Sport and funded, you had enormous help from the team.
The treatment I had.
Yeah.
From Kate Davis.
She was the team physio.
And her whole team behind her, and the kind of advice I got on everything really. But it was all came back into action, and
then he went to Rio. Luckily he had two of his good friends with him, because when we went to the Olympic Village, I don't know how many big blocks of flats they were where we all, and we had to keep hold of him the whole time, because he
I had no idea what block we were in.
Had a clue.
You've got written down. I've had breakfast and I'm in block 12.
He was like that. I mean,
so physically there was obviously a bit of time to kind of,
So physically
heal.
I was my sight to come back. I got myself fit. I felt I was riding, but I was certainly a little bit.
You definitely. We needed to.
They didn't look after me. And I can remember there came a point which I wasn't aware of, which I can obviously say now because I've retired. But I had to walk the course. Our performance manager, for the BEF, was a guy called Daniel Hughes, and he said to Yogi, "I want to walk the course with William on his own, because I want him to convince me that he knows which way he's going."
Right.
Because otherwise,
we're going to have to.
He's out.
Yeah.
I didn't know that at the time. I know that now retrospectively. But anyway, I luckily convinced him that I did know the course.
Yeah.
But that's what people around me were thinking. I was oblivious to all of that. I was on a mission. And
but the mission was always so emotionally and mentally, there was no doubts about whether or not you would get back in the saddle and start riding again. So it was straight back in.
When I look now, you can see all those kind of things that weren't quite normal, but at the time I felt great. Life was a breeze. I was riding well and had a good horse, and I was jolly well going to go.
That's probably the best way to be in that.
And lucky for me, but I think it was quite tough for everyone around me.
But I do think that's one of the frightening things about concussion too, is because actually I've been concussed probably quite a few times, and when they quiz you and ask you, you can actually answer the questions.
You can
answer the questions.
But then afterwards you might
and it's not until...
Not quite right.
And you're not right, and you're not quite right. And it's only sort of 2-3 months down the line when you suddenly realise, actually, that, I really wasn't right.
And you can train yourself to do the balance tests and all the kind of coordination tests, and you kind of, you master all that. But, it doesn't prove much. But it's really, the whole sport now is so much better with that, isn't it? The whole concussion safety thing is really being
very
dealt
positive.
with now.
Yeah, in all sports that's become a huge
bang on the head
point.
And you're out for a length of time.
3 weeks, 21 days.
Whereas then, it didn't matter for me because the end of the season, but then you knock on the head, just get on with it. Because I've never knocked out much in my career before. I'm sure I've had a few bangs on the head, but I've never been concussed. But it was interesting how I've had a few falls since, how much quicker I now knock out. So my brain goes into
Nope, we're off.
defence
Yeah.
much more like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Because I had that fall at
Sarah and sister.
when again I was literally had a pathetic little topple, and I can remember the fall and thinking, oh God, it's going to hurt, just.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I knew, I was having a
Snooze.
scan.
Oh God.
And poor Al, because Al was. I think when William
He's
finally
back in the ambulance
decided.
again. Here he goes again. And she's going, no, for God's sake, why is he still riding? Because that was another whole thing we could talk about, was carrying on post-injury.
Yeah.
Why, what for? Because,
You've achieved so much
You've
at that
won
point.
everything.
I've done everything anyway. Well, I've done enough, but, I still had things I wanted to do. And I obviously thought I was better than people around me. Thought, well, he doesn't ride the same anyway. I did lose for a long time. I lost my competitive edge. I just thought, if I get 2 time faults, who cares? That's all right. If I don't win today, never mind. Whereas before, it would have been absolutely, this is my mission, and that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I think, I never won another big event after my bang on the head. I tried hard, but I never won one.
But I mean, you'd achieved so much at that point, and it's an interesting one, and it's something we've discussed in the, in previous episodes, is, the retirement stage, and what that looks like, and how that, is there a moment where you go, okay, yeah, cool, happy, on to the next adventure, or is that difficult?
That was one of our little topics, wasn't it, Pip? We've talked about. Maybe we talk about what's You're the one that hasn't done it yet. I've done it.
I have really, haven't I?
Have you done it fully? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm over it.
No, you were eventing.
No, I'm jumping low jumps.
Yeah.
I'm jumping low jumps on young horses.
So it's like a little.
I've got a little, keeps me kind of in the game. Keeps me a little bit interested in young horses. Quite excited about a young horse going well. Quite very excited if I win a prize. And I love all that. I love that whole thing. I've been to big events the last 3 or 4 weeks, and there's not for a moment if I thought, I wish. Because naturally I don't have a horse either. I think when you've got a horse
that's
and
what
you don't
I feel
go on,
like.
it's very different.
I feel like that because I haven't got a horse now at that level.
And that whole target of having those amazing horses achieving at that level.
Top level.
And you've got the horse. I can remember when I was thinking about, I should give up. I think I've got 2 good horses. And I'm jolly well not ready to watch somebody else ride them yet. Yeah. So bloody well ride them yourself. So I did. And I thought, then I felt fine with that. I thought the day I don't want to ride them, I'm out of it. So I had a very clear picture in my mind about when my moment of retirement was coming. And
did it come around like you expected?
It took a long time to come around. I think everyone was kind of thinking, now?
Is he going to?
Now? Maybe? Next?
It's really difficult though.
I can imagine, yeah.
And I was waiting for it. I kind of thought for a long time, I'm going to wake up one day and I'm going to go, I'm out. So I was waiting for that, and it waited, and I waited. And it took a long time, and after my 2 good horses things had happened to them, I suddenly had another one. And I thought, I've got another one, and I'm still... But literally, last year at Badminton...
You had the most amazing cross-country.
I went to Badminton, to be competitive, on a good horse, a lovely mare, and all week... I was just really conscious of looking like an idiot.
Interesting.
And I'd never felt that in that way. And when you're a young rider, up and coming rider, you all make mistakes, you all do stupid things, and it's always, that's sport. You do make cock-ups, you do make a bad judgment, and bad luck, or you're young, or you were a bit too competitive. But suddenly when you're 55, you're just a bloody idiot. You just, what the hell is he doing? He shouldn't be doing it. And I just was really aware that I was walking around Badminton course thinking, I'm really worried. What happens if I can't find a stride into the Vicarage V? I've never thought that before.
I've thought that all my career. I have.
Yeah, but I haven't always found one, but I'm not worried about it. Whereas you would always find one because you're good at that. You've got it sorted. No. But that's not been part of me. Part of me has been, it's going to happen, just get my line and get it right. Whereas suddenly I was going, what happens if that...
So it's that brain starts to think in a different way.
And I was just so scared of looking like an idiot. I think that really hit me that week. And my cross country went
Brilliantly.
great.
It was
So the
unbelievable.
mare was great. I rode okay. I didn't look like an idiot. And at that time, I thought, I'm feeling too much relief. Normally, you feel elation, you're on a buzz, you're on excitement. I was competitive. Till the show jumping, I was lying up there. And all I was a thank God.
Interesting.
Thank God. And I thought, I'm never coming back here again. I didn't know it was going to happen wham bam then, but I just thought, you know what, I've done badminton. I cannot, I don't want to go to that stage where someone will say to Al, oh, you didn't stop him riding, he rode like a moron today, and oh God, that poor horse had to carry him round and he was half doing this. And because we all know, it's a fact of life, that when you get old, you don't ride as well.
Yeah, our reactions aren't as quick.
We don't, we're not as quick, we're not as hungry, we're not as fit.
And also,
And it's
there's an element too, we've experienced so many things, haven't we, over the years? I think
you've
there's
got
an
too
element.
much in that.
Is
Too
it
much.
hard to find the
of
hunger
what has
because you've
happened.
achieved?
You just
No, not just that, but you've had too many.
experiences that
Yeah.
When
things-
you're younger, you sort of have that
Bounce back.
slight naivety, that slight feeling of
Yeah,
being
yeah.
invincible. But when you've done it for so many years, you sort of experienced.
that innocence has gone, that ignorance and innocence has gone, and you're suddenly, as I said before, a lot of us in our
questioning. You
sport,
start questioning.
we've all go on too long. We're all addicted to our sport. It's so dangerously addictive, the adrenaline, the buzz, because we're not addicted to the glory and the success and the cash, because there isn't any. So it's much more the drug of the whole journey. So you can't give it up because you just want another one, and I just want to go there, and I can't not do ...
And it's
Yeah.
it's the whole camaraderie of it all too, isn't it?
Yes, it's the way of life. It's who you're with. You're all sharing so much. Of course, you have a good day. You know that next time it won't be your good day. It'll be somebody else's. It's never,
You don't mind that so much.
unless it's you're sharing everything so much. It's just nice to carry on. Anyway, that was
Again,
enough. Was enough, and it was quite a lot of relief. Luckily, I show jumped badly on the last day, so I didn't even do well in the end.
Yeah.
But on cross country day, I had looked okay.
You
I'd
looked
ridden
amazing.
Okay. My horse had gone well. It was a happy moment, and I thought, you know what, I'm out.
Yeah. And that was it.
And that was it. So
Wow.
I never rode her again. So at that moment, I thought, no, she'll be somebody else's. And I enjoy, she goes very well for Harry Mead now. She's very happy with Harry Mead now. And there is not a moment do I wish I was sitting in that start box.
It's interesting.
Over to you, boy.
The timing was right.
Your day now.
Handing over the reins, literally. So we have a segment called Top Tack Tips. So it's for those listening at home. It's a piece of equipment, some sort of gear, whatever it may be, maybe even a little routine, something that...
Well, it's obviously the neck strap.
Obviously the neck strap. Yeah.
It is actually.
Was that to keep your neck?
And that
Because that is the only trend I've ever set in my whole
You have.
life.
Was that were
Because
you the
people
trendsetter?
now do use the odd one. I can remember my mother wouldn't let me get on a pony horse without one. She says, because otherwise you jab them in the mouth, and you just got to learn to go with the horse.
And that is exactly why every horse of ours has a neck strap, because
Oh, I didn't know that.
because we copied you.
You're a
You
trendsetter.
said it.
Influencer.
There you
So
go.
he
You can
influenced
tell.
me
Can you
to
tell
wear a
I'm a
neck strap.
trendsetter?
I can.
But we have very different methods, didn't we? Because I always believed in trotting slowly on the roads.
Yes.
You never ever trotted on the
No.
roads, did you?
No, we disagree on lots of things.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I have no doubts
but-
about that.
Lots.
But agree on
you
more,
know,
possibly.
it's if there's a moment where you can be on the neck strap and not on the horse's mouth, it's a very precious moment.
Absolutely.
If I don't have a neck strap on out of the start box,
Mm.
as they say, go, I feel naked. If I only hold it as they go to the first jump,
Yeah.
that's
enough.
That
That's
might be
fine.
it, but I need to know it's there.
Last question. This is, I mean, you've given so much to the listeners already, and this is a takeaway for those at home who love horses, live with horses, or maybe would like to pursue a career in eventing possibly, what piece of advice would you give to those people?
Give up. Get out while you can.
That is the best answer.
Give up. You're not competing anymore. You don't have to worry about someone.
Give up.
Like me,
Give up
Give up.
because you'll end up like us if you keep going too long.
Get over it.
Get over it.
Get over it. Because I was thinking about maybe going pro, and I think maybe give up.
That's funny.
Unless
I
you've got the
told
minerals.
you he would give you an honest answer.
I respect it. Give up.
Just imagine the life I would have had otherwise. I mean, just
What would you have done otherwise?
Yeah, what would you have done differently?
I'd have had some money. I'd have earned some money. I'd had something in my bloody bank account now.
Yeah, that's overrated though, isn't it? Memories.
Yeah, you wouldn't have the memories.
And I wouldn't have the friends.
True.
Just imagine what I do for the next few years.
I'm excited to find out. I've got chickens and pigs and children.
Exactly. We've got plenty to keep us busy.
Yeah,
Plenty. You guys
I can do lots of irritating.
So if you don't want to give up, what other words of advice could you give?
I think just really expose yourself, take a risk, get out, ride, take every opportunity, ride horses, go to every, not competition, but go to every avenue to find horses to ride, get experience, even at lower levels, but just ride lots of different horses and just learn how to ride. And then worry about how you can then make it your career, whether you need owners, sponsors, cash, stables. You can then think about it. But in the beginning, just get out there, take every opportunity, get on everyone's horses, ponies, learn to do some teaching. See stuff, watch stuff. Takes so much. I've learned a lot since I started teaching more. I wish I'd done more teaching when I was riding. It's amazing what you pick up, isn't it? So I think just getting all those, getting that exposure. I think now people can get very insular, very single-tracked, very in on their one perfect pony, having a lesson every week and a jump every week and a gallop every week, and just get out there.
William, thank you so much. It's been an amazing episode. It's been a very insightful one.
I hope you do a lot of filtering.
So what did you think of my long neck friend?
Well, I've met your long neck friend a few times before, and he is an absolute gent, firstly. A lovely man. But I mean, I have to say, very unassuming, William Fox-Pitt, isn't he? Because when I first met him, I wasn't too aware of how much he's achieved, and to hear everything he's achieved is absolutely fantastic. And that's another person in the horse world who's achieved so much, but again, is incredibly humble.
Oh, and what I've always loved about William is he really, really likes his horses. I mean, they really are his friends, and I think between the two of us, as we've chatted about, we're in that sort of tricky situation or difficult, not sad time, but we're coming into a different stage of our life, and we're lucky to have had the amazing friendship we've had, and there is sadness that we've sort of probably moved on from that world, but lots of things in the future to look forward to, and it's great to hear his insights into what he's going to be up to in the future.
Absolutely. It's not every day you get to have two goats in the same room. Please,
I'm good at that goat noise, aren't I?
That is getting clipped.
So if you've enjoyed this episode, if you've loved us talking horse again, please do subscribe and join our equestrian community.
Absolutely, and please do leave us a review. Help us gallop up the charts. It really does help. Makes a big difference for us.
And yes, do ask any questions. And I know the guests that you're suggesting, we certainly are trying to get some of them, and some of them will be on in the future.
So if you have any information, any stories, any anecdotes, send us an email on info@talk-horse.com. And please do join us next time, because we've got so much more horse talk to share with you.
Bye for now. See you next time.